I was about 15 years old and I was in the band. And on Friday nights, of course, we had games. So I had to go to the game. I really wasn't feeling that well that day. So some of my classmates were going out that Saturday to skate, but I didn't want to go. Like I said, I wasn't feeling too well Friday. So Saturday, I said I was going to stay in. So I did some chores Saturday morning. And I kind of laid around, watched TV, caught up on some reading. I mean, I remember this day like no other. And my mom had to go to work. So my dad was a minister, and he had a engagement that he had to go to. I think it was it might have been like a meeting at the church or something, but he wasn't there. He wasn't going to be there till later on that night. So I was at the house by myself, and like I said, I was just catching up on some reading, watching a couple of shows, and I eventually drifted off to sleep. And this was around, I think it was about 5 or 6 o'clock that evening that I had went to sleep. Y'all usually don't like to go to bed that early because I'm gonna wake up about 1 or 2 o'clock and be wide awake. So and when I went to sleep, it was like when I was reading my book, I usually don't get sleepy, but it was like something was like, oh my God, you got to go to sleep. It was like a sleep that it was like no matter what I did, I was just sleepy. And I'm usually not like that. So, anywho, I went to sleep and I was having a dream. And I was like, okay, everybody dreams. No biggie there. And in my dream, it was so real. I mean, we all had those dreams that is be so real. So I was really like, the people that were in my dream, back up, the people that were in my dream, was my cousin through marriage, and I saw him telling me that he was going to race tonight. And I was like, where I'm from is from a small town. And racing and hanging out at Sonic, that was kind of the thing back in the day. And it wasn't really like I'm getting on the Expressway 75 or 285 to race. It was more like we going on a back road and we're going to race. So that's usually where he would race at. And I told him, I said, well, I don't know about that. It's kind of wet outside. And I know y'all would race, when it's wet. But it's been raining like uh, for a couple of days off and on. But when it was raining really heavy. So I told him, I was like, I don't think you should do that. And he was like, oh, it's okay. I done raced in the rain before and stuff of this nature. I was like, I don't know about that. Now, like I told y'all in my previous video that, I wasn't close with my family like that. And he was my cousin through marriage, and I wasn't close to him like that, but I did talk to him sometimes. I did see him from time to time. So, in a way, this conversation in my dream was kind of strange because I've always seen him race other cars and stuff, but I have never just had the conversation of he's going to go race type of deal, if that makes any sense. Okay, so we're talking in the dream and everything, and it was like I was sitting in my car, and it's like I kind of put my head on my headrest in the dream, and it was like I kind of drifted off to sleep. I was dreaming. I was dreaming. Okay, follow me. So when I drifted off to sleep, it was like something told me, said, wake up and tell him, convince him in any kind of way not to race. So I was like, oh my God. And it's like I woke up from my dream, from dreaming in my dream. And I was looking for him and I didn't see him. I didn't see any cars. I saw a couple of cars that was still waiting there. They was fixing to leave to go to where they was going to race. And I got in my car. I was trying to crank my car up, and it was acting like it didn't want to crank, and all this type of stuff. And so then I was like, oh my God, I got to get to him to show him, um, tell him not to race. I don't know why, but I just need to tell him not to race. And so then it was like I woke up, and I was like, what? But I wasn't woke. That's the thing. It was like I woke up from dreaming, but I wasn't woke. And then it came to the instance like I was in the car with him, and he was in the car with his best friend, and him and his best friend was talking. We're gonna beat these guys. They always wanted to compete with us. We're gonna beat these guys. I mean, we're just gonna nip it in the bud, and so we can just move on with the rest of the night. And it was like my cousin was saying, yeah, yeah, we can do that, but it's kind of extra slippery out there today. And his best friend was like, no, it's okay, we good. You know what I'm saying? We just got everything good with the tires and all this type of stuff, so we good. I think he had just gotten some new tires maybe 2 weeks before that. So he was in a not a cutlass. Oh Jesus Lord, if I remember the name, you guys, I'll put it down below. But so I'm still in the dream. It's like I'm sitting in the car with them, and they had someone that was in the back seat with them as well. So I'm sitting on the other side of them, and the guy that was in the back seat, he was like really scared. He was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like it's been raining hard, this weekend and everything. So he got out of the car. So then they got ready to race, and it was like it stopped. It was like he was like, nah, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it. And I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus. They're not going to do it. So it's like he turned around and was like, we're not going to race. So it's like and this was taking place in Tallahassee, Florida, because I'm from Thomasville. So that's like about 15, 20 minutes from Tallahassee. So they was coming back from Tallahassee, going to Thomasville. I hope you guys follow me. I hope I'm not confusing anyone. And we was coming back from Tallahassee and going to Thomasville. And then they were driving, talking, giggling and everything. And then those guys suddenly appeared again. And it's a 4-lane like highway coming back from Tallahassee. And the guys was like, I said, y'all, y'all checking y'all pumps. Y'all don't want to race. Y'all know y'all going to be beat, blah, blah, blah. And it kept going on and on. But the whole time, you guys, I was in the car. And like tossing. I could feel myself trying to shake myself to wake up, because all of a sudden he mashes the gas, he punches it, and they start racing. And I'm seeing, his best friend on the other side saying, "Man, we got this, come on, man, come on," and all this type of stuff. And they swerving back and forth, they switching lanes and everything. I'm trying to wake myself up, because I'm like, I don't want to be in the car for this, because it was so real, like I was in the car. I was like, I don't want to be in the car for this, because this don't feel like it's going to be a good ending. And you guys, when I tell you, I saw it all the way up to the end, to the point that I could see myself sitting in that car. And it was like I detached myself and saw myself go outside of that car. And I saw when these guys, because these guys were white, and I saw when these guys clipped the back end of his car, of my cousin's car, to where it was spin out of control. And it was like the moment I saw that, I jumped. It's like I went back into the car, and the car began to spin out of control. and it hits a tree, and the whole impact is like was so real to the point that it just immediately just woke me up. Straight up. I'm talking, when I say straight up, you guys, I'm talking about I was laying down asleep and I woke straight up to stand straight up on the floor. And when I woke up, I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like feeling myself like, oh my God, what is going on? And I could see myself just crying. My face was so wet from tears of crying. And I'm like, what in the world just happened? So, like I said, I didn't have his number, and I was trying to find his number. I was trying to find his mom, his sister. I was trying to find somebody that knew his number to call him, because I didn't know where he was at. I didn't know what he was doing, but I know it was that Saturday. And I looked at the time when I woke up, and it was like 12:10. And I was like, oh my God, I wonder if he's racing. I wonder if this was something that might happen later on, or whatever the case may be. And I'm trying to find somebody, to the point that I couldn't find nobody because my mom wasn't home yet. And I went to her job. I went out to my mom's job because she worked at a detention center. She was a corrections officer. And I went to her job, and I was hysterical when I went there. Mom was like, what is wrong? What is wrong? I was like, Mom, I got to find out where he's at. I got to find out what is going on. I mean, because I was telling her my dream, and I was like, Mom, I don't know if it's happening now. I don't know what. I just got to find. I got to find him. I got to find him. And I tried my best. I tried my best. I tried my best. Me and my mom tried and everything. We didn't get in contact with nobody till the next day. And when we got in contact with somebody the next day, that's when they told us that he had gotten killed. My mom told me that. I just kind of froze. And I said, Mom, please tell me it was not um, due to him racing. Because I seen where his best friend got ejected out of the car, and he died instantly because he got ejected out of the car and hit a tree and slid. And I seen where my cousin hit the steering wheel, and the airbag hit back so far that he broke his neck. And I seen all this in the dream. My mom didn't have any details right then. His mom and, everybody that knew him, because he was a very popular guy. He played football and everything. You don't want to ask people details because this just happened. But I was just so distraught. I was so hurt. I was so everything, because I feel like I could have tried to prevent this because I saw it, but I didn't know if that's really what happened. And that Monday, when I went to school for a half a day, and I still wasn't feeling well, and I came home, and I went to his hometown, Cairo, Georgia, and I went to go ask my aunt, which is his aunt, and she told me that it was due to racing, and the car lost control. I knew the details, but at that moment was not the moment for me to sit there and tell nobody the details of what I saw and what happened. So what ended up happening, you guys, the town is, like I said, the town is small. They wanted to rule it just as, it was an accident, but that's not what it was. The town was really in remorse, because he had a lot of people that liked it. He was a very nice guy. He was mountable. He was handsome, everything. So a lot of people liked him, and a lot of people was at the funeral, because actually they had his funeral, his best friend's funeral together. So You guys, they were so fragile to the point that you couldn't even touch them. They had them in the casket with glass over them. You could not touch them. You could see them, you could touch the glass, but you could not touch them because um the funeral home did its best they could to try to keep them together, keep their body parts kind of together. Um so they will look presentable for their funeral. Um I was so hurt, you guys. I mean, when I tell you, I was so hurt. I was so hurt. I was more hurt less to know that I felt like I could have prevented it. But again, by this time, I still did not know all the details. And when, after like a couple of weeks, and I went to his mom's house, and we was talking about they wasn't going to do an investigation. They were no longer going to do an investigation and just rule it as an accident. And I told his mom that she should not rule it as an accident because it wasn't an accident. They intentionally did this to them. And she said, "What do you mean?" And no one knows. No one knows but them and God. And I don't know, other people might, for as spiritualists, if you into that or anything of that nature, might know. But I told her specific details to the point I could tell all the way down to the clothes that they had on. His mom was in so much shock to the point that she was like, "Were you in the car and you just didn't tell nobody?" I'm like, "No, ma'am, I was home." And I felt so bad because I felt like if I could have found him, that it wouldn't have happened. I felt so bad because we knew how much everybody loved him. We knew how much everybody loved his best friend. And for that to happen, for them to go out that way, it was just, you guys, for years. I end up describing to the police the car that I saw in my dream, and they end up going to this young man's house. They end up tracking it down, and what actually made them believe me was they actually looked at that car. They looked at that car and they saw the paint that had transferred from my cousin's car to their car. Just a small little piece of paint that was on the front of the car. And them guys got arrested. Everybody that was in the car, because it didn't take but one, and he sung like a songbird of everybody that was in the car, everybody that cheered them on and everything. I didn't want to see nobody. I didn't want to see nobody life to be ruined like that, but you have to take responsibility for what your actions. They were lenient on them. His mom was very upset, that it happened, but she knew that they raced all the time, and they knew the consequences of it. Both of them did. And I still feel like I carried that with me for so long, you guys, that I felt like I could have prevented them deceasing that night if only I could have gotten to them and told them not to race them because something was going to happen. I really, 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 really was hurt, you guys. Really hurt, you guys, for many years. Many, many years. And I didn't want anybody to know that I had told her this. I asked her constantly to not tell nobody, just, do the steps to get the investigation continued and everything. But I just held it in for so long, you guys. I felt like it was my fault because I didn't get to them in time. As I grew to know that, everybody has their day. We never know our day, our hour, or how we're going to go. But we're going to go. And it was just their time to go. And they went together because they always were together. So they went together. And it comforts me now because I know more about, than I did then, of being young and just knowing that I felt like I could have prevented it. And it was just so much, you guys, so much, so many emotions that I've always carried with me when it came to that I could have prevented that. So you guys, that is my truth this week. This tragic death of, like I said, I didn't want to try to get too graphic with the details in there because I know some people can't stomach stuff, even though I'm not showing any pictures. But just them picturing it, I didn't want to do anybody like that. But that is something that I need to get out, for me to move on with my life, to know that. And I have had a dream since then where he came up and hugged me and was smiling and everything, like it's okay. But I still felt bad. I still felt really bad and really carried that with me because I felt like I could have prevented that. But you guys, if you have a truth this week, or you have a truth that you've been holding on to for so long, I have many truths that I've been holding on, that I've been carrying with me for years, that I would express for you guys because I feel like I could talk to you guys. And sometimes it's good to get it out so you can move on with your life, so you won't carry that burden with you anymore. And know that you can be forgiven for your truths. You can overcome your hurt, just depending on what kind of truth it is. So if you would like, comment, subscribe. I'm always going to have my truths up there because it's always going to be a truth every week. Maybe every week, maybe every other week, just depending. But I still have some more to come. But and leave in the comments below if you have a truth. If you made a video of your truth, then tag me in so I can see your truth, you guys. So until next week, have a good week.